Namaskar, myself Hariom Tyagi and you are watching Super 100, an initiative of Observer Dawn. Today we will talk to Mr. Naveen Lakkar. Naveen Lakkar is the founder and chief coach of Institute of Inspiring Innovation. Corporate houses like Dell R&D, Mercedes-Benz Research and Development, Standard Chartered Bank, TCS Healthcare, Fujifilm, Sricool, Cremozan Logic have utilized his training program to nurture their human capital with innovation competencies. Naveen Lakkar is a serial entrepreneur turned innovation coach. Naveen loves to inspire enterprises and entrepreneurs to innovate and guide them to grow in the right direction. In his professional career, more than 25 years in the industry worldwide, he has co-founded several innovative companies. He has also been a catalyst for 250 plus ideas to have become commercial realities. He is passionate about sharing his practical knowledge of building companies and nurturing ideas. He brings to the table his personal experience of a unique combination of systematic innovation, a structured and scalable approach, and tactical innovation, a frugal and flexible approach. Besides his active engagement with the industry, he indulges in writing books with international recognitions, and he loves telling business stories. Naveen Lakkar ji, you are most welcome in our program Super 100.
Namaskar.
So, my first question, you have got an interesting title of Chief Innovation Coach at Institution of Inspiring Innovation. What is your role and responsibilities with this title?
Yeah, in fact, yes, it's not a regular usual titles, right? No, it's there in the corporate. So as a chief innovation coach, my role is to, design programs and training programs which could help people in the corporates to build that competency for innovation. And innovation is a necessity today. And if you really look at new age leadership, that is our mission, to nurture new age leadership. And we believe new age leadership is going to be driven by innovation through intrapreneurs and through entrepreneurship. And if you really look at these innovation, intrapreneurship and entrepreneurship, they're a high stake game.
Okay.
In fact, just like say IPL is a big game. And there, if you see as much importance to the cricket players who are there, in fact, the coaches get equal attention and importance because they know why you need a coach. And if innovation, entrepreneurship is a high-stake game, you need coach. So that's my role as a catalyst to help these human resource to go to the next level as human resource to human capital. If you really look at human resource, organizations are built on people pillar. And if you take an organization, it actually looks like human resources are a liability because they are the expense side. And if you have to get them to be human capital, then you'll have to encourage and engage them with intellectual activities. And if we can help them create intellectual capital, then it's a fantastic thing, because we are still driven based, like organizations are operating more like a manufacturing era, and we have moved into the knowledge era. And in the knowledge era, it is about the potential to innovate and change that we can bring. And my responsibilities are to design programs like, within the corporates, for example, one of the most highly used phrase during the appraisal time is asking their people to think out of the box. And nobody is telling what it means and how to go about doing it. So I've designed a program which could help people understand themselves, know the box, and then how do you collaborate? How do you think out of the box and generate ideas. So how it could shape up the culture of an organization. So delivering these programs, engaging with the employees within the corporate, or it could be even entrepreneurs, and mentoring them, and encouraging and mentoring in a way that they step up and increase the game. So that's the roles and responsibility of mine as a Chief Innovation Coach at Institute of Inspiring Innovation.
Okay, what has been your inspirations to start Institute of Inspiring Innovation?
Nice question. It'll take me back to my memory lane. My inspiration is that, I think there is that potential in every person who can bring the change, right? But I would relate to 3 incidences which probably that I've gone through and faced, and those could be the trigger points if I have to look back and get into my memory lane. One was, I think it was sometime back in 2004-05 season. I was in California in Silicon Valley, and then the CEO in the company, US company, that I was associated and building strategic initiatives. I was the vice president for strategic initiatives and, managing projects across in development in India, then Middle East, Malaysia, Mexico, and mainly USA. One day he called me and I was there in the office, and he said, "Hey Naveen, can you come?" And he showed a newspaper article which on the headlines it said, "Indian Silicon Valley overtakes American Silicon Valley." And he asked me, "What does this mean?" So I read the whole article. He's an American, so I read the whole article. Then I realized what it meant was that the number of people working in IT industry in Bengaluru, then Bangalore, which is Indian Silicon Valley, is overtaken the number of people working in IT, in information technology space in Silicon Valley of the US. So I briefed him this. So he was just looking at me. He didn't say anything. So I was wondering, what is he thinking and what does he want to say or react to? Then he said, it's like looking at the watch and telling the temperature. There's no direct correlation. So he asked me a few questions, which actually baffled me and got me to think. Because he said, "Great that you're saying the number of people in Bangalore has overtaken the number of people in Silicon Valley in the US. But tell me, how many products have you people produced, which has gone global? How many intellectual properties do you have? What is the gross revenue that these IT companies is doing, and compared to as in Silicon Valley?" And the Silicon Valley in USA has, say, Google, Apple, Oracle, to HP, to so many, right? And then I'm talking about 2004-05 season. And then I realized, yeah, there are, of course, maybe number of people are more, but then there is very less or hardly any which has gone global as a product. Services, yes, we were doing wonderful services. But as a product, as intellectual properties and as entrepreneurial ventures, not many, and very few. Then I realized, if you throw a stone in Silicon Valley, it'll probably fall on an Indian there. And when we can do it from there, what's stopping us to do it from here? That was one of the inspirations. So we need to innovate. And another incident which probably triggered is, one of the collaboration or opportunity to collaborate with William Miller, who's among the top 30 thought leaders in the world. He started Stanford Research Institute's innovation program. He was working on an idea, and we had a meeting, and he wanted to validate the idea, and we were sitting and I was understanding. So then he mentioned something very interesting. He said, I used to feel special because I used to think I'm innovative, and I've been a serial entrepreneur turned now innovation coach. When I met him in 2008, it was him who said that, when I used to feel happy that, I'm innovative and special, he said that potential to innovate is there in every person. Then I felt much happier, because if that potential is there in every person, then how do we tap it? How do we bring it out? And how do we make a difference? And he said something very interesting. He said, in fact, India is a place seated on gold mine, busy importing silver. It's not that silver is bad or no value for silver. There is, but we don't know the value of gold. World wants innovation which is holistic, which is based on human values, and India can give that, is what he said. In fact, he said, you scratch the surface, probably our potential will start showing up, because we have so much in terms of culture, in terms of ancient wisdom, which is science, which we need to tap into. So that was another inspiration for me to do what I'm doing today. Third is one of the days when in Delhi, we had a meeting with Mr. Memani of EY, and then my chairman, we were having a conversation. And Mr. Memani turned to me and said, oh, the new making of C.K. Prahalad. So I was very happy. He's a guru in the field of innovation or enablement, and, based made a difference in corporates. And I've even written about it in my book, Inseparable Twins. So when we were talking about it, I was so happy when he gave that as a compliment. I treated it as a compliment, but Mr. Ranganathan turned and said, no, he's not. So I was like, wow, gone. The compliment is gone. But he said something very interesting, which kind of became more of a responsibility than a compliment. He said, with all due respect to people like C.K. Prahalad, when during their heydays, the role of gurus was, the coach is to bring information, because information was not available easily. But today, information is an overload. And they have not run companies themselves. They came with the theoretical models, which was very useful and applicable. But today's generation is very different. They will ask, first question they will ask is, why you? And have you done this? If you've not done this, then don't ask us to do, right? So, and the gap is widening. And people, then he turned to me and said, you've been gifted with the passion to teach and the power of articulation. So people like you should consider bridging that gap and, encourage and nurture the young generation, be it India or global. So if that talent and, the energies are channelized, then the whole world would benefit. That was the third trigger, I would say. All these three at different times is when probably I had to move out of my operational roles as CEO and from tech companies, and then chose to create Institute of Inspiring Innovation with a vision to enable 1 million people around the world in the next 5 years. And creating models and methodologies, frameworks, intellectual properties such that we can nurture aspiring innovators, intrapreneurs within a corporate, and entrepreneurs.
Okay, thank you, Lakurji. Your book Found has got 4 international recognition. Could you tell our audience about this book?
Yeah, sure. Found is a book which is a title itself says as Found. It's an acronym for a 5-part framework. It's a book for ideation. Actually, smart people do not have the problem of not having ideas. Actually, they have a bigger problem of too many ideas. They're brimming with ideas. And it's stressful. When I say a problem, it's more because of the stress. Which idea do you want to bet on? Which idea should you pursue? Not all ideas have business in it. At the same time, I strongly believe no idea is a bad idea. If only we know how to categorize them, how to take charge of that accordingly, right? So this book found, has three IPs of mine, where one, to help them quickly validate their ideas, whether it has business potential in it or not. Second is the framework. How do you follow a process, method to the madness? People brimming with ideas, how do you distill that? How do you pick an idea which has higher winning potential? And then also ability to map the ideas into the matrix which could help them to classify and then accordingly take action. So these are the three intellectual properties, a part of the book, and it has evolved out of the practice that I've been following and dealing with many ideas globally. And it should help entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs and the people who are brimming with ideas. So this book was written, and incidentally, it has been ranked as the best book in entrepreneurship category in USA and Book Excellence Award winner. And more than anything, I feel happy when people say it's simple, it's easy for me to understand and use it, and it is helping me quickly qualify or disqualify an idea that I don't want to pursue, right? That itself is a big help. And when people say that, I feel happy. In fact, recently, last year, when I was doing a session at Founder Institute in London, when there was a pitch boot camp happening, and post the session, there were some 150, 200 entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and corporate executives who were there. So post the session, in fact, because it was about the pitch, idea pitching, so we gave away a copy of the book Found to the best pitch person who did that, came from Africa region and had an interesting idea. So here one girl came up and said, she was talking to me, and I said, how come you're so excited? And she said, yeah, because I'm meeting you for the first time, but your book was a reference, Found was a reference in my college. And I said, oh, where did you study? She said in USA, in Chicago, of University of Psychology. So I didn't know that. And their professor said, if you're brimming with ideas, go read this book. It'll help you to pick an idea. So when you get to meet people who see that it's been benefiting them, that's the best part.
You are listening motivational thoughts from Mr. Naveen Lakur. We will be back after break.
जिस तरह अच्छे और पौष्टिक खाने का महत्व हम सब जानते हैं, दूसरी सबसे आवश्यक और करीबी चीज है हमारे कपड़े। अब इंतजार की घड़ियां खत्म। कोविड से सुरक्षा के बीच में अब आपके घर के दरवाजे तक सबसे स्वच्छ और गुणवत्ता से भरपूर आपके अपने कपड़े। इंडिया में पहली बार क्लाउड धोबी ने आपके कीमती समय और सुरक्षा दोनों का ध्यान रखा। अपने कपड़ों की सबसे हाईटेक और सैनिटाइज्ड लॉन्ड्री और ड्राई क्लीनिंग के लिए अभी कॉल कीजिए। आपकी अपनी सोसाइटी में जल्द ही।
Naveen ji, we know that your another book, Inseparable Twins, is a part of personal collection of Dr. Abdul Kalam. It's preserved and showcased at Dr. Abdul Kalam Museum in Delhi. How do you feel it?
Oh, actually, I feel great, honored. In fact, he's a role model. Dr. Abdul Kalam is the people's president, and he's a scientist. And about innovation, he's lived that role of an innovator, be it the kind of projects or the ISRO, initiatives that he was associated with. It's a great person. he's an inspiration to me. And this book, Inseparable Twins, is a book to inspire young minds. And it is a book to inspire innovation and entrepreneurship. And to know that, it is in his personal collection is an honor. In fact, I didn't know that, the book was there in his personal collection and it's in a museum. One of the days, Vail, I've done several sessions based on Inseparable Twins, training program on creativity and innovation as inseparable twins, how they coexist. And incidentally, this book has characters by name Appy and Proppy. They are elephants. And how they interact. It's a fictional style for a non-fiction topic. And I've done the sessions at T-Hub, which is India's largest incubation center at Hyderabad. And the head of that being Sameer Chabra, he suddenly one day sends a picture and says on my WhatsApp saying, hey, look what I found at Dr. Abdul Kalam's museum. And I was surprised and zoomed to see. He took a picture in the stack of the books of personal collection of Dr. Abdul Kalam, and I saw Inseparable Twins there. So I was like, wow, I didn't know this. And he didn't know that I didn't know. So it became very special and it's a treat. And thanks to Sameer Chabra for sharing that, taking that picture. Incidentally, I was planning to be there in March to speak in Delhi in Make in India Conclave. Because of the lockdown, it's all got postponed. Otherwise, I would have got a glimpse of this book in his museum. So I'm looking forward for visiting Delhi and seeing this book in Dr. Abdul Kalam's museum. It makes me feel great, happy. And it's now beyond me, right? And this book also, incidentally, it's dedicated for social cause.
Okay. Navinji, you love telling business stories. How do you do it?
Yeah, I love telling business stories. Storytelling is something which I believe exists and helps persist the information in the mind and helps people to recall. So when, be it Ramayana or Mahabharata, thousands of years old, but it is still very relevant and we relate to it, we learn from it. The beauty is that, actually there's a lot of innovation, concepts, models, structures, but the way they've packaged it as a stories for us to remember, well, it has happened then, now it is a story and we grow up with it and we'll never forget it. And it will remain and we know how to pass it on to next generations. So if that is true, even good businesses need to sustain and need to be there and those stories has to be said. And that's how I feel storytelling is so important, and all the more for innovation and sharing of ideas. If you know how to tell your story, that will help a lot. So be it in the form of books, I do share, I write articles, and I also narrate with this pandemic and the lockdown happening. I thought, it is important that, we can do our little bit. If not anything, spread positivity. So last year, that is towards December, I'd initiated to write stories on my other book by name A Little Extra. So I've been telling the Little Extra story. And every Monday, I started to write and share one story. So then I said, this is the time to spread positivity. So the business stories I do narrate now. And the latest one this week, it was based on the quote I've authored by name, innovation in general is ordinary. Innovation in general is ordinary. Innovation based on human values is extraordinary. And based on this quote, the inspiration is Dr. Khaja Abdul Hamid, who founded CIPLA, and how after his education in Germany that he had in chemistry, he chose to come back and start Cipla with the objective to create generic medicine so that the medicines which are required, be it for malaria or for several other ailments, then is affordable to common man.
How important is innovation for companies during the pandemic era?
Yeah, it's not an option according to me. Especially during this pandemic time, innovation in general is not an option. If you don't innovate, you die, right? So change is constant. We all know that. If change is constant, one thing I learned is it's very stressful to catch up on change. If somebody changes, you're always in the race and wanting to catch up. As Mahatma Gandhi said, if you want to see change, be that change. And if we want to really be that change, it's not easy, right? It's like running marathon. You can't just decide and start running. It's not a dash. So here, it's like that marathon. So you need to build that muscle. You need to build that capacity. You need to build that skills. So that is where it's not easy. And if you have to lead change, then you need to build that competency. So, and that's exactly where, the need for conscious capacity building needs to happen, be it in corporates or through entrepreneurship, so that, the organizations can grow. If we don't innovate, then we are dead. And we have many examples now for those who did not see that change coming and create something new that they could catch on with. They're all gone. They're history, right? However good they were then. So it's not an option. And especially when you are asking during this pandemic how important it is a lot more important now for the simple reason reset button has been pressed by COVID. And COVID has played a neutralizer role. Whole world, it's not discriminated by region or by religion or by, the capacity or by color or by the financial status. So it's not discriminated, or by gender. It is played common. So if it is so, and whatever we did earlier, many of it is not relevant and COVID has challenged and shown that, we are back to zero. And if it is so, it's an opportunity. No pandemic should go waste, because a lot of people sacrifice, suffering should not go waste. So, and business is not as usual. So those who can do something different or create something new, or make something better. In simple terms, that is innovation. And then you have a huge opportunity. And in fact, it is an opportunity for all over the world. This is the time that, we need to create something new or do something better or, improve something, right? So, and companies have done that. For example, Mahindra and Mahindra, when this automobile thing was shut because of the lockdown, but they realized the need for ventilators. So they converted their units and used maximum number of parts which they already had in their inventory, and started creating ventilators, which is of use also to people. And during this time, nothing like it. So it is important that, organizations think and innovate, and at the same time make a difference.
You are listening motivational thoughts from Mr. Naveen Lakur. We will be back after break.
जिस तरह अच्छे और पौष्टिक खाने का महत्व हम सब जानते हैं, दूसरी सबसे आवश्यक और करीबी चीज है हमारे कपड़े। अब इंतजार की घड़ियां खत्म। कोविड से सुरक्षा के बीच में अब आपके घर के दरवाजे तक सबसे स्वच्छ और गुणवत्ता से भरपूर आपके अपने कपड़े। इंडिया में पहली बार क्लाउड धोबी ने आपके कीमती समय और सुरक्षा दोनों का ध्यान रखा। अपने कपड़ों की सबसे हाईटेक और सैनिटाइज्ड लॉन्ड्री और ड्राई क्लीनिंग के लिए अभी कॉल कीजिए। आपकी अपनी सोसाइटी में जल्द ही।
Okay, Naveen, if we're talking about the current time, it is a very challenging time for everybody. Startup, entrepreneur, corporate house are facing a lot of challenges. So, what would you like to suggest or advise them to motivate themselves?
Yeah, I think this is a question which is probably very relevant, and there is no one way of doing it, but we all need it. So first of all, I think I would say during these challenging times, supporting each other and creating that nice culture, be it within the organization or even in the society or even inter-countries, inter-region, is a necessity. Because as humanity, we need to come together and create something, make this world a better place to live for not just us, for the future generation. We are just custodians. We are here and probably we have abused it and not, respected Mother Nature and also what potential that we have. And this is the time that, we should bring human values to the forefront for all the new creations that we want to do. Think holistic for all the initiatives that we want to take. Try and integrate, and make things, collaboration is the way to live. And at the same time, this is the time and opportunity to innovate and, create something new or make something better. This is the time. And this is the time, I feel, be it organizations, corporates, or the entrepreneurship, as entrepreneurs, we should take new initiatives which are strategic and which can make a difference and challenge the status quo of the past, the conventions, the models that we have followed. This is the time to really think out of the box and execute. And this is also the time for us to actually, say in India, it is about, we've been good when we want to create something new. We know how to hustle, the Jugaad innovation, the hustle, quick fix, and so on. This is also time to think systems. For MSME, if we can think about, how to think systemic thinking and scale and innovation, then they can grow into global companies, move from the small and micro, medium and micro to literally a major company, right? It has the potential, and world is the market today. And also use technology and innovation like wheels, and let human values be the track. And if we have to build a great vehicle to move forward, let the coaches be your customers, understand the market needs and the new needs which are created, and create a great vehicle which can be very fulfilling, modern, and based on human values, and create an impact. It's an opportunity.
Okay, Naveen, according to you, what is the key things for a entrepreneur, a startup, or businessman to be success?
For an entrepreneur, business person, or the corporate, I think success mantras are. There could be many. Success itself is very subjective. The key, I think, is about what problem are we solving. The second is that what value are we creating. The third is about people, right? It is about how are we taking care of our people, because organizations are built on people pillar. So if that is true, their growth matters a lot. How are we engaging people, and how are we equipping them, and what support are we providing? So if we can do these, then I think with human values and holistic thinking in place, we can do wonders, and money will follow. Actually, a lot of entrepreneurs would actually want to become entrepreneur just because they want to make more money. And if they are running after money, they will find hardly any. So the key there, the secret is that, identify a problem worth solving, have a purpose in life, and, bring human values to the forefront. Then it is about holistic thinking and the right effort with people inclusion. You'll make a difference. Those are the 5 things that I would say, and it can create that punch, which is worth, because it would make a difference in the world.
Thank you, Naveen ji. We are very happy to discuss with you and talking with you, and hope our audience would also like your ideas and your talks. So thanks again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for inviting me and asking these questions where I could share my thoughts. I hope it is going to be beneficial.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. Namaskar. It was our Superintendent, Mr. Naveen Lakur. Hope you have enjoyed his inspiring thoughts, and we will be back soon with another Superintendent. Thank you.